How's everyone doing today? I got a surprise for you guys. I make some tacos. We have my homemade guacamole mix. We have the coleslaw mix. And we have the taco mix. I'm going to share some of this with you guys. Then I'm going to leave you the recipe in the link below. Now, I use the hard shell this time. They say to, I mean, they say, but it's all preference. The soft shell is preferable or better suited for this kind of delicious taco. This is all homemade. You add your own ingredients, and what you do is you start off with a little bit of the coleslaw mix, and you want that embedded inside of the taco. And then we go with the taco mix. Probably thinking, how the hell does he fit all this into one taco? But it can be done. It can be done. And now you're probably thinking, how the hell is this guy going to get this guacamole mix into it? But these tacos shells are strong. They last pretty long and very durable. It's almost like the burger, the Shake Shack burger, where the bun could never, you know, the bun fits nice and tight and it gets everything secure. Meat. So what we got here is a delicious taco. Look. We got the flavor of the, why did I fucking bring a napkin? We got the flavor of the guacamole, the coleslaw mix, and this is awesome. I'm telling you, no lie, and I'm being honest about it. There's no fat in this, very little. Just the mayonnaise to make the coleslaw, and I use a light mayonnaise, so that's like maybe 3 grams of fat. Delicious. Oh. I heard about that dude that choked on a taco and died. That was like a few weeks ago. It's fucked up. I don't know what happened. He was competing in, he was an amateur eater, he was competing in an event. This will do it. If you don't know what you're doing and you're eating a hard taco shell, chances of choking are very high. Soft, not so bad. That's what everyone recommends, the soft shell. So I want to talk a little bit about these people on YouTube that bully other people, other YouTubers, because they have bigger channels, or bully the smaller channels. That's messed up, man. Don't do that. It's not good. You know, because someone says some shit about someone else, and then the subscribers of the bigger channels come down on the little channels. See, I don't worry about that because I don't get into that kind of stuff. I used to be, if you guys remember, some of you that remember me, back when I had my website, beautifulbrian.com, things got pretty messy back then. But I didn't have to worry about, see, I would basically just, you know, report the news on competitive eating events. And then I had a page 6, which was actually, it was actually a page, the page was 6 on the website. And well, so I'd write about, you know, what goes on. I had a gossip page, and sometimes I say some things about the eaters and the Major League Eating that some of them didn't agree with. Well, what are they going to do? They can't do nothing to me. You can't sue me for freedom of speech. There was no YouTube channel to voice to, you know, they didn't have subscribers and they didn't have a following, so I didn't say anything bad, really bad, but some of them took it personal. I said, you know, about how they ate and they weren't the greatest eaters, and sometimes I threw a family situation into it, which was actually not right. When I come to think, after I look back in hindsight, it wasn't nice. So, if I was to do that shit on YouTube, if I badmouth a YouTuber that had a lot of subscribers, and I got back to them, and they wanted to take revenge, picture, let's say somebody has 1 million subscribers, right? You have 1 million subscribers. Picture 1 million people with tomatoes in their hands, pelting you with tomatoes, one right after the other. Not good. So I'll try to keep my nose clean now. That's all for that shit. If you're a small YouTuber, don't try going after a big, it's like, it's, you know, you're outnumbered, this one's bigger than you and you're like this. Don't do it. Because it can't get nasty. I'm not saying they're going to kill you, but they will embarrass you, hurt your feelings, and, you know, shit like that. I have an interesting story. Back in 2006, there was a competitive eater. His name was Pat from Moonachie. He was a cross between Curly Joe on the Three Stooges and Joe Dorito of the Three Stooges. He looked like a porcupine. He was an okay guy. He was a good eater. And this fucking guy could eat. He made it to Nathan's like 4 or 5 times. You know, finals. For one day, Bear with me, I don't want to choke on this shit. If I choke, I'm gone. If nobody here is going to give me Heimlich maneuver. What else do you want? You want to volunteer? So anyway, he was a regular on the Opie and Anthony radio show, which was very popular in New York City. It was based out of New York City. And they had the terrestrial station and the local station. Terrestrial was on the terrestrial and the Sirius. The terrestrial was a station where you put on the radio and listen to it. The other one was a pay station. So he was competing on the side, behind Major League Eating's back, and these eggnog drinking contests on the Opie and Anthony show. And this was, I think, the third time he competed, and he was like undefeated. And this time they took it to the extreme. You know, Opie and Anthony, those guys are crazy. They're looking for ratings. They had one show where they went to the St. Patrick's Cathedral on Church Street in Manhattan. And they had this girl give somebody a blowjob in the church, in the cathedral. It's fucked up. And they took a lot of heat for that. So he drank like a gallon's worth of eggnog. And they had this one willing participant, he was a college kid, who allowed him, Pat, to vomit all over him. And it was tons and tons of fucking eggnog just spewing out of his mouth, right over the guy's face, body, and everything. So Major League Eating, they have this like code of ethics where you got to sign this waiver or contract, and you're not supposed to be doing shit like that. It's against their principles. We got back to them, and they threw him out of the organization. Pat, big mistake. They didn't know what Pat had this following. They called themselves the Pests. And they were like a legion of loyalists to the Opie and Anthony show. They're only on the internet. And they stuck, you know, they had his back. This kid, you know, Pat. So after Pat gets the letter that he's been, the services are not required with MLE any longer, he runs on to the Opie and Anthony show. He reports to the Opie and Anthony show the next morning, and tells them everything. And I wrote an article about it. Well, my article wasn't bashing anyone. It was just stating what Opie and Anthony did, the circumstances revolving around it, and how they make fun of this guy because he has diabetes and he lost his toe. They'll make fun of that too. So I reported it. And the next morning, I think it was that morning, I was sleeping. I get a call from the commissioner of the MLE, Charles Hardy. You've probably seen him, the black guy, in some of my videos, going after Dale Boone. And he says, Brian, whatever you posted on your website, get rid of it immediately. I said, why? He says, have you listened to the radio lately? I mean, he was scared. This is a guy that's, you know, he's a correction officer. And he was a correction officer for He was a New York City correction officer. He's not scared of anything. I never sensed fear in his voice. The way when he came out, we move it, take it out, because what happened was these pests that stand up for the Opie and Anthony loyalists are friends of this kid Pat, this guy Pat, and these pests swarmed like bees within a matter of minutes, threatening phone calls to the MLE office. You know, they're easily accessible. Their number is listed in the phone book or whatever on the internet. Just better, but check this out. The whole article that I wrote posted on my website, they read the entire thing, entire article on the show. They didn't know who I was. So it said that Pat was scheduled to be a guest on BB's Christmas special. There's two BBs, Beautiful Brian and then there's Badlands Booker. So they thought it was Badlands Booker's Christmas special. He's not making any Christmas special. And there's this website. It's a blog. It's the only blog that covers competitive eating. It's like a fucking joke. The guy who runs it calls himself O.J. Rifkin. I don't even know his name. To this day, I've been around since 2005. Nobody has yet to unmask this guy. I'll find out who the fuck he is. Remember how that he's a female. So, here's the deal. They didn't mind so much. Like, I was off the hook, basically, because I didn't post anything bad, but I started to, in one of the paragraphs in the, well, you know what? I have the actual broadcast of Opie and Anthony talking about the whole thing. I had it on my website. I took it down because I was afraid that I get hit for a copyright claim or something like that. But I'm gonna post it back up. And this goes on for like about a half an hour. They go through. This was in 2006. And supposedly, when he threw up on this demented participant, willing participant, it went viral on a site called Slack. This was before YouTube. Well, that's where it got all this exposure. So, if I was monetized, I would have slipped a commercial and I would have slipped an ad in here so you keep you in suspense. Or no. These are good. Well, now they were coming after me. Because I said something about this comedian Jim Norton. I made fun of his speech impediment. Well, he sort of talked like with a lisp. Like, yeah. Next thing you know, we didn't have Facebook back then. I had MySpace. And I had these pests threatening me. One guy, had an avatar with a cowboy hat. He goes, "You feeling the heat, bro?" I'm like, "Fuck you." Well, the shave, they've got, I mean, they had to actually disconnect their phone. And then they got hit with a virus. It was like, this was like Sandy in reverse. The volcano hit and it hit hard. Man, it was scary. So, and did this Pat from Moonachie, I never felt the same about him after that, because he was like, he was in on this, and then he goes on this eat feats under a name. I saw a whole different light. I saw him in a whole different light. It was he went under the name Pat's Sixth Toe. I was like, you know, sort of joking about his missing toe, because he only has 4 toes on one of his feet. And he came on like real spooky. I knew it was him. And like, you see, Brian, what happens when you stick your nose in other people, whatever. It was a joke. So, and then eventually they had to let him back in, because he was, I don't know if it was an act, but he was crying on the freaking Opie and Anthony show. And they're saying like, "Pat, give this shit up. It's no good for you." The funniest line was when they got a message on the air, when they were on the air, was either an email or something that Pat got thrown out of the IFOCE, which is MLE, because he had a girlfriend. That to me was the funniest shit I have ever fucking out. Here's my last one. I'm a fucking pig. No nappies. When I was about 17 years old, from highest to the appetite I have, this is, no, a little bit older, 22. This was like in the early 80s. There was a restaurant that wasn't far from where I lived. It was a restaurant pizza place. They made great pizza, and they also made excellent spaghetti and meatballs. So I just ordered this spaghetti with meat sauce. And the owner, when I ordered it, I didn't order a drink. So the co-owner of the place, the other man asked, "Did he order a drink?" The owner says, "Not even water." I always felt I didn't need liquid. Taco was fucking good. So I'm going to leave you the description, the recipe in the description below. And you're going to love this shit. My neck is killing me. This is basically, I didn't even use ground beef. Imagine the next time I make it with ground beef, I used turkey, ground turkey. And it's a poblano pepper, onions, garlic, ground cumin, coriander, chili powder, some parsley, and you mix that up and you add that to the mixture. There's no fat in it, man. No, and diced tomatoes, You could use as a topping. Now for this, you know how healthy this shit is. This is called ancho cabbage, the Chinese cabbage, and the red cabbage. You chop it up, some mayonnaise, some little soy sauce. That's the dressing. Carrots. This is salt, walking good. Of course, the guacamole mix, which is basically avocado, tomato, onions, garlic, a little lime, a jalapeno pepper. Use this as a dip. Oh. Yeah, so that major league eating shit, well, it's just a hobby for me. I never expected to make any money. I never offered me any money. I'll put out my website and my podcast. You've probably seen a few episodes of that. As a favor. Some of these greedy motherfuckers, they weren't real, this is still in their head. But I was doing it for non-profit. I was still expecting me to please them like they were paying me. Oh, why'd you print this? Why'd you print that? And it wasn't until this eatfeats.com started that they could actually go on there as anonymous douchebag and trash me. Finally had a voice. A voice they didn't deserve. They still don't deserve. So. Ran out of taco shells. This shit is amazing because you can. I made this last night. I had like 3. I just had another 4 now. I still got left. I'm gonna save this for another meal later on tonight. And this could last you. Excuse me, man. That's sneezing. Ugh. If anyone ever sneezed in my food, I would throw it out in a minute. Without a question. Anyhow, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. If you like what you see, God bless you too, huh? Say what we want, voice our opinion. If you like what you see, leave a comment, hit the like button. Subscribe if you like, and I'll be back with another video very soon.